All right, Pirate fans, welcome out to another episode of the PC podcast. This will be episode number 39. So Wednesday evening. And of course, this is part one, the interview. And I do have a guest. I have a coach that I'll introduce here in just a minute, but I do want to introduce my crew. We are in full effect today. We got the Big T, Tony Pena. How you doing, Big T?
I'm doing good, man. Ready to get it.
We got the Z-Man, Johnny Zavala. Z-Man, how you doing? I know you're doing good because of those Braves last night.
I'm doing good, doing good.
And then we got the coach, Steve Cantu. How you doing, coach?
Hey, blessed, brother. I'm happy to be here. Gabriel, I got a quick question for you. You smell that in the air, son?
I do.
That's basketball season, baby. It's basketball season.
Yeah, and I love basketball. That was I played a lot of sports, but I really excelled in basketball. It came easy to me. And so we do have, we're going to talk basketball. Of course, basketball season is just around the corner. The season starts, I think, next, not this Friday, but next Friday. So we do have Rockport-Fulton Lady Pirates head basketball coach, Morgan Hale. She's on the podcast. Coach Hale, how you doing this evening?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Absolutely, coach. And I'll just start off by saying that last year, they had a good run last year. You know, the girls went on a 20-game win streak. They won district. They went to the third round of the playoffs, and they're all returning. I think they had one senior that graduated, so they're all coming back. The expectation is very high for our girls, and so we're going to do a little Q&A with Coach Hale, and I'm going to pass it over to Big T. He's got a few questions for Coach Hale. Take it away, T.
Yeah, again, thanks for joining us this evening. I know we got the Astros on. I know everybody wants to watch that. But anyways, so I know that you graduated from Rockport. What year did you graduate from Rockport? It was like
I graduated in 2012.
2012. That's what I thought. I remember y'all when you played, y'all had a really good basketball team. Y'all had some injuries. I think y'all almost went to state, or y'all went to state.
We went to state.
Went to
We
state.
lost
Y'all had
the
some
first round at state, but we went to state.
Yeah, y'all had some injuries though that maybe caused that title from coming back to Rockport. Is that correct?
Yeah, our point guard went down a couple games before region or state and tore ACL, and she was a big part of what we did. We rallied as much as we could behind her, but we just fell a little short with manpower. So, but it was a good year, and we definitely were able to make a good run at it.
Yeah, I think I remember that you were the 3-point queen for your team, huh? If I
That's what
remember,
everybody tells
if
me.
I remember correctly, I remember you were the 3-point queen here in Rockport. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
that's what everybody tells me.
so you go off to college, and I think you played basketball in college, correct?
I did. I played at Arlington Baptist University up in the Dallas area.
All right, all right. So you go to college. What brings you back to Rockport? What was it that brought you back home to coach the Lady Pirates?
Yeah, I think that there was multiple things that played into that. I have family that's in the Coastal Bend area, so that's a big deal to me, just being close to them and being around everybody. But just being able to come back to the community that invested so much in me and made me who I am today, and gave me such great memories in high school, especially like with the state run and everything we were able to do. There's not a lot of high school kids that get to say that they had those types of high school experiences. So just being able to come back to the community that, invested in me and be able to give back to these girls and, try to get them to have the same type of experiences that I did.
Awesome. Well, also talk a little bit about, you have a really good opportunity this year. You have a lot of returners coming back, and you had a pretty decent run last year. So talk about how excited you are about this opportunity that you have. This year you're a little senior heavy, but you got a good squad. You have a really big opportunity to make a big run. What are some things we could expect? What is one of the players that you expect to have a big season, their senior season?
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint just one person because, like you said, we have a lot of returners. We have 9 returners, 6 of those are seniors, and they all bring something different to the table, which is what makes us so good and versatile. Kaylee Hale is obviously a huge returner for us. She also has verbally committed to play Division I basketball at the University of Incarnate Word. So I'm expecting big things from her. She traveled all over the country this summer. She played with an AAU team out of San Antonio, which was really big for her. It pushed her to go see a different, level of talent. And I'm just expecting all that hard work, all the traveling, crazy schedules and everything that they did this summer to really pay off this season.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing what the girls do this season. Good luck on the season, and I know if I don't know if the girls know your history, but if they do, I mean they it gotta feel good. Being coached by someone who went down that path and lived that life, like you said, not everyone gets to say that. So hopefully, they take that and they fight hard for that to bring that title to you that y'all should have had back then. So good luck on the season coming up.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right,
Hey,
Gabriel, that's all I got.
all right. Coach, before I go to the Z-Man, I do got a question for you. So I know this last year you had to play against your dad. I know your dad was coaching out in Ingleside, and I read a lot of that stuff. I saw some of the interviews you had. People asking that question. So I'll ask you here on the Pirates Code, what's that been like? I mean, he probably, taught you everything you know about basketball. So what was it like to get on the court and have to go against your dad?
Yeah, I tell everybody all the time that it's a super cool experience. It's another one of those things that there's very few people that get to say that they are put in that type of situation. The first year we played, I was at the head coach at Miller, and we actually ended up beating him in overtime. And I cried like a baby on the bus on the way home because it was just such a weird emotion. I was so proud of my girls, obviously, but I was like, that's my dad who's taught me everything. I mean, he's my hero, and, he's my dad, but he's also a mentor in this profession. I mean, I know that if I have questions or anything, he's a good sounding board. He gives me solid advice. He tells me when I'm doing a good job, but he's the first one to tell me whenever, hey, you shouldn't be doing that, or you need to switch this up. And he pushes me in those things. So it's a weird emotion. He actually is the new head girls basketball coach at King High School this year. So they are not in our district anymore, but we did schedule a preseason game, and they are coming to our Toast of the Coast tournament. So we'll see each other again this season, just in a little bit different aspect.
That's cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Z-Man, you're up.
You kind of touched on this with Tony's question, but kind of elaborate a little bit more. What do you see different from this year's team than last year's team?
Really, I mean, I see so much maturity. I see maturity in just the day-to-day life, like off the court stuff. We've grown up a lot, but we've also just matured on the basketball court. And I think a lot of that comes from every single one of our girls on varsity, and majority of our junior varsity girls have played basketball all summer long. They didn't all play on the same exact AAU team, but they all were on some type of summer travel team. And I don't think that that's happened in a long time in Rockport. I think that there's been, a few play on this team or a few play on this team, but collectively, majority of our girls in our program were playing basketball and touching a basketball all summer long, and it shows.
That's important.
There's something to be said for just having a ball in your hand and repetition. And the only way you get game reps is by playing in games. And they traveled all over the state and played different levels of basketball, different competition. I have one of the girls that came back, and she said, those girls in Dallas are just built different. And I'm like, yeah, they are. But that's what we needed to push us and make us better across the board. And so I've seen maturity, like I said, in the personal life aspect of it, but also just on the court. And I mean, you walk in our practices, they're, locked in, they're loud, they're engaged, they're holding each other accountable. That's something that's huge, because last year it was a lot of Coach Hale or my assistants holding people accountable, and now they're holding each other accountable. And I think that that's really where you see a shift in culture, is when it's player led, not coach led. And I'm seeing that a lot right now here since we've been in practice this past week.
Awesome.
That is a lot. Yeah, there you got a lot. Your top heavy leaderships there.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's excited about this state ranking that we got going on now. Rockport girls basketball at number 19 on the state. What does that state ranking mean to you?
I mean, obviously, it's a testament to the work that the girls put in this summer. I spoke on, them playing all summer long, but they also grinded in the weight room this summer. I mean, they were up there working all the time. So I'm proud of them. I'm excited for them because I don't think Rockport girls basketball has been ranked in a long, long time. So that's definitely something to be proud of. On the flip side of that, I don't want us to focus too much on that. Just as quickly as we got that, it can be taken away. And there's bigger things that we need to be working on. And if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing every day in practice, in the classroom, all of those things, the state ranking is going to come with it. I would rather focus on the other things. I want the girls to enjoy it and be proud of it. But at the end of the day, I don't put, hang our hat on the state ranking.
I like to see us keep climbing on my end.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I looked into the number 1 team, which is the defending state champions, of course, Canyon. I like somehow to upset for them somewhere along the line. Let's take over that somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny, just a real quick question. Where's Bernie at? Do you remember where Bernie is?
That I don't know.
I believe that they're 3.
Okay. Wow.
So before we get out of district, I'm sure you're wanting to win the district.
Absolutely.
So one team that popped up in there, which is the number 24 team in the state, which is Beeville. Tell us a little bit what's going on in Beeville. What you know about Beeville? How is it we're going to take over the district?
Yeah, Beeville's definitely going to give us a good game. I'm looking forward to that game. If I'm being honest, I'm looking forward to that game more so in Rockport than I am playing in Beeville. But they're very well coached. They have most everybody returning. And I do know that they had a move in from Skidmore, who's pretty good, who they're adding to their team. She's a guard. So they're definitely going to be ready to go, and they're going to be coming for us because of what happened last year. So we just got to make sure that we stay grounded and stay prepared and just be ready for that moment. I'm honestly glad that we get that kind of competition in district. There's some districts that there's one team that's just way above everybody else. I think our district's going to be competitive. I think there's some teams in there that are going to push us and make us grow. And I would rather be battle tested early than be battle tested in the 3rd round and lose. So I'm looking forward to that game. And I think it's going to be, I think the girls are excited for it too.
Awesome.
Very excited here. We're guaranteed to be watching your games. That's all I got, Gabriel.
All right. Coach Steve, you're up.
Did you call me, Coach?
I did.
Okay, you froze right there for a second. I didn't hear the introduction. Hey, so Coach, again, like the guy said, thanks for coming on. Thanks for taking some time. I'm sure you're super busy and your schedule's full. So we appreciate you coming out. So I got a few questions for you, Coach, and I'm gonna take you to a little bit of the X and O's first. What is your we'll talk about defense first. What is your defensive philosophy? What do you guys run? What's your base set? And talk to me about the players that play in those roles.
Yeah, so defensively, I push that a lot. I think that that's where it starts, especially in girls basketball. A lot of girls don't like pressure. They don't like to have to handle the ball. So I am definitely a man-to-man kind of person. I love man-to-man. I really learned basically pack line defense in college. So I teach a lot of those principles, kind of make it a variation of that.
Right.
We do, however, throw in zones. There's certain zones we run a 3-2, we run a 1-3-1 sometimes in the half court, and then in the full court we run. It's like a 1-2-1-1 with an interceptor. I really try, especially at our level, to make sure that we're constantly throwing a different defensive look at people.
Okay.
I think that in girls basketball, especially at the 4A level, as soon as they think they got the offensive side figured out based on what defense we run, we throw something else at them.
Right.
Try to keep people on our toes or on their toes. And so that's kind of what we do. That's what we did last year. We'll probably do that again this year, but I'm probably going to mix up some of those variations and different things. I just like a lot of different looks, but my go-to is a man-to-man defense, you know?
Yeah, well, that's good. Cause like you said, you know, a lot of people, they don't like that pressure coming up. You know, they want to walk up those few seconds. They want to, you know, think about it. They want to get the plays called in. They don't want all that pressure. You know what I'm saying? So that's great. And it's great that you mix it up. You know what I'm saying? You know, fall back, you go in the zone, this and that. So that's awesome. I think that's a really great approach to the defensive side of the game. How about the offense? What do you guys, what do y'all run as an offense?
Well, we go straight into our set every single time. It's basically a high, low post, lots of pick and rolls. I'm a firm believer in, you know, at the high school level, you have to find an offense that fits the personnel you have.
Right.
If I was a college coach, I could recruit to whatever my philosophy was. But where I'm at right now, based off of what we have really good guard play with Jordan Malone. I mean, she sees the floor very well. She makes good decisions. Her IQ is just really, basketball IQ is off the charts. I got Michaela Molina. You were asking about defense. I mean, she leads us defensively. She gets after it. I got shooters, someone that y'all probably haven't heard a lot of, but that's been put in a lot of work this summer, Alyssa Garcia. She's shown that she's improved drastically in decision making and scoring. And so when you couple that kind of guard play and with Messiah Hernandez as a shooter, I mean, when you couple that with Hale presence and Lila Solis, Audrey Jones, those types of girls inside, it really is hard to guard us in the pick and roll. You got to pick your poison in that. So that's kind of where we do have other plays out of that, but our set that we're automatically in is a high post, a low post, and a pick and roll situation, probably 75 to 80% of the time.
There you go. Well, Coach, you mentioned a few. Could you name off your roster and positions?
So with our seniors, we have Michaela Guerrero. She will play the 3 or the 4 for us. Kaylee Hale. I mean, she's very versatile. I would like to keep her in the 3-4 spot as well. She does play the 5 for us occasionally. We have Michaela Molina, who is our 1 or 2 guard. And like I said earlier, she really leads us defensively. She's that person if you have the ball, you don't want her guarding you. She's going to get after it. She's going to be annoying. She's going to be in your business. And so she's one of our seniors. Another senior we have is Audrey Jones. She plays the 4 or the 5 for us. She played a lot this summer and really grew in that position. Lila Solis, who is our 5. I mean, she's a force to be reckoned with. She is the grinder, does all the dirty work on the boards, on the floor. And she's really this summer added a pretty nice offensive piece to her game. She's a great defender. She's always guarding the best post player. So she's going to be a big piece to what we do. And then I mentioned earlier, Alyssa Garcia, who's our other senior. She plays the 2 or the 3 for us. And she really, she's grown up. I've seen improvement in all of them, but there's been a lot of growth in her skill-wise and her decision-making and her basketball IQ. And then we have Juniors, we have Messiah Hernandez, who is, I mean, if you give her any space on the 3-point line, it's going up, and she is knocked down. She actually was 6th man of the year in our district last year, coming off the bench for us. We have Lexi Herman. She's a sophomore. She's back up 4 or 5. She's really improved and grown. She pushes Kaylee and Lilith and those types of girls in practice. She's a great defender. She's a good rebounder. So we have her as a junior. Then there is Jordan Malone. And she is a junior, and she is, I mean, she this summer shot, when I say thousands of shots, I mean, that's not an exaggeration. There was one point in the summer that she wouldn't leave the gym until she made 500 threes. She didn't shoot 500 threes. She made 500 threes.
Wow. And
it was happening 3, 4, 5 times a week that was the case. I mean, there's no one that was in the gym more than her this summer. She's, you know, handles the ball well, sees the floor well. She's really grown on the defensive side of the ball. She's really tried and put in work this summer to step her game up on that side. So, I mean, I'm just excited. They've all grown and individually, and I'm happy whenever we're in practice and I see all the pieces to the puzzle starting to come together and fit.
Yeah. Well, Coach, it sounds like the girls did their part, right? And that's a big thing, you know what I'm saying? Because the girls, they got to want it as well, right? They got to put in all that work. And in the summer, that's when you do it. You don't do it 2 weeks prior to the kickoff. You know, preparation is enjoying the entire process. You know what I'm saying? So that's putting in extra reps, working the gym until the lights cut off and stuff like that. So it sounds like your girls are really excited about their season, and they're probably got a sense themselves like, man, we got something special. You know what I'm saying? They probably have that sense about themselves. You know, everybody's out there doing something. And some of the girls that you mentioned, that's awesome, man. I know some of these girls, and I had no idea. You know, Alyssa Garcia, right? She plays softball as well, right? I think that's Elizabeth's older sister.
Yeah,
is that right?
Elizabeth's sister. She doesn't play softball, but it is Elizabeth's older sister.
Yeah. She played it here, I think, a couple of years back. So I didn't know that she was playing basketball. So that's awesome, man. Yeah. Gosh, let's see, what did we skip here? So we talked about your oh gosh, I'm lost, Gabriel. Come back to me, Gabriel.
Yeah, I will. Coach Hale, can you talk a little bit about your assistant coaches? I know that JV, so I want to talk about the JV and the freshman, but just let us know a little bit about your assistants.
Yeah, so Melissa Reyes, Coach Reyes is my JV coach. She does a great job. I mean, what she's done in Rockport speaks for itself. She was actually one of my coaches when I was in high school. So we have a good time together because it's kind of like, you know, we have that relationship where she was my coach, but now we work together. So she does a phenomenal job with the JV girls. She is always supportive for me and whatever I need from her. She's a great sounding board. We like to give each other a hard time. We have a good time working together. And then my freshman coach is actually Jessica Clark. She's actually about to have a baby. So here in the next few weeks. So Coach Rice is going to be stepping in and helping with our freshman program while Coach Clark is out on maternity leave. So between both of them, I mean, the freshman group is going to be given a lot of knowledge. I'm super excited to have Coach Rice along for this ride with us this season. And I'm super happy for Coach Clark and her husband with the baby. So it's all really, really exciting, and a lot's going on with that. But I am looking forward to watching that freshman group because we have a good group of freshman girls this year.
Coach, and you talking about David Rice?
Yes.
Yeah, he taught you, I'm sure. He taught me. He taught Johnny. Johnny, he was there when you were there, I'm sure.
Yes.
All three of us. I remember having him when I was back in school. That was back, God, I graduated in 92. So he was still there. So it was great. That's great to have him out.
Actually, all three of the coaches that I just listed all were coaches when I was in high school. So they all coached me. So it's
Wow.
fun to be able to come back and work with them.
Absolutely.
awesome.
And coach, I'd ask you to talk about the JV and the freshman team. I know last year I didn't watch too many of the JV again, but they were very impressive. They had a really good winning record, I believe, if I remember correctly. And I saw a couple of the games; they were pretty good. Talk a little bit about the JV because now most of them aren't coming up. And you have your whole group coming back. So I think you said you were able just to move up one or two. But if you could talk a little bit about the JV squad and the freshman squad.
Yeah, so the JV, like you said, it's kind of the hand that we were dealt with being so senior heavy this year, and then having the 3 other juniors. So that JV team is definitely talented. They also get to practice up against our varsity all the time, so they are prepared and ready all the time, being able to go up against that level. There's definitely a lot of talent in there, and then in the coming years, they're going to be put on varsity and actually be able to display that and show that. So I'm super excited. And like I said earlier, this freshman group, it's just a good group of girls, and they love basketball. Majority of the girls in that freshman group are just basketball is their thing. They love it. They're excited. They're constantly, Coach Hale, when's practice? When can I get in the gym? You know, that freshman group is just really lots of energy, excited about basketball, which, I mean, as a coach is all I can ask. And I think a lot of that has to do too, is they see the success that varsity is having. And both freshmen and JV are striving because they want to also experience that. And we talk all the time and have the conversations about, hey, when this group leaves, we don't fall off. We stay right where we're at. We stay competitive. We stay making deep playoff runs. And that starts with how you practice when you're on the JV team and when you're on the freshman team. So we have a lot of those types of conversations. And like I said, they're just a good group of girls, and I'm excited to see what they do, not just this year, but in the coming years.
Coach, my last question before I turn it over to Coach Steve, if he has another question for you, is how involved are you with the middle school basketball? I know that when we talked to Coach Jeffries about volleyball and Coach Robbins, they said that they would go down there during their athletic period, if I remember correctly. And they were pretty much involved. How much are you involved with the middle school basketball program, the girls?
Yeah, I try to go down as much as I possibly can, as much as my schedule allows me to. I want those girls to see my face. I want them to know that it's not Rockport Middle School girls basketball or Rockport-Fulton High School girls basketball. We're one program, and it starts in 7th grade. And honestly, it starts in the 6th grade when they start teaching
Pre-athletics.
And they start teaching the skills and everything like that. I try to make sure that I'm there as much as possible. Tomorrow they have middle school tryouts. I'm going to try to get down there in the morning before school starts. I like to be an encourager, be there, build the relationships with them. But I also, I like to just allow my middle school coaches to coach. Sure. And we've had enough conversations that they know my expectations and what I want, and they do a phenomenal job down there. So I just like to go and be a part of it and build the relationships with those kids, because honestly, I mean, if you build a relationship with a kid, they're going to play hard for you. Mm-hmm. And they're going to want to be a part of what you're doing. So that's what I really focus on with my middle school, is just the relationship side of it. And I trust my middle school coaches to really prepare them fundamentally and all of that. I mean, my middle school coaches are really good about, hey, what do you want us to run? So there's variations of certain offenses that we run, certain defense, and they're already implementing that. This year with this freshman group that we had, I walked in to practice and I said, hey, okay, we're going to put offense in today. And they said, Coach Hale, we already did this last year. We know what to do. I'm like, okay, we're on to the next step. It's saving time because we're implementing that same schemes at the lower level. And obviously there's different variations of it and different levels to it, but the basics are there. So my Coach Hibbs, or Coach Robbins, sorry, and Coach Grimes, he was here a few years back, and then he went to Alice, and now he's back. He's at the middle school, And then Emily Rice is also one of my coaches, and they all three do a phenomenal job. I can't speak anything negative about them.
Awesome.
I'll say this, Coach. We've got good athletes in Rockport. We started doing the podcast. We interview a lot of the boys and girls, and those girls, man, that you talk about, those freshmen. We've seen them. Steve knows them real well. He coaches them at the softball level. We saw what they did in volleyball this year. They went undefeated in district. They were district champs, and so that group's got a lot of talent coming up. So I'm sure that makes you happy, and the volleyball coach is happy with what we got coming up. But we've been great, Coach. I mean, in all sports. I mean, I think Coach Seibert and all of his assistant coaches, with our females and male athletes. I mean, our football, basketball, volleyball, softball, baseball. We had our first powerlifting female champ last year, and we brought her in. I mean, it's just great to be a Pirate right now. And so that expectation for the basketball team, I know is high. I know there's a target, right? But man, we everybody's just can't wait for basketball season to start and get rolling and see what these girls are going to do. Coach Steve, I'll send it over to you. Do you have any other questions for Coach Hale?
Yeah, well, probably not so many questions, but we're really going to lay it on thick here. We're gonna make a public appeal to the Rockport community to come out and enjoy some of these games and get involved and get behind these girls. We talk about this all the time. Gabriel approached all three of us with an idea and a thought, something that he saw that was lacking in our town. And, that's what got us all together. You know what I'm saying? We feel that our athletes aren't getting enough credit and they're not getting enough recognition. Our coaches aren't getting enough recognition. And that's what this whole podcast is about. It's about shining light on all our programs, everybody up and down the list. And, and it's just real simple. All we're here to make a public appeal for support. Come out and support these girls and these boys and be a part of their journey. So, Coach, I just want to say thank you again for coming on. It's been a pleasure. And hopefully I don't get ran out of any basketball games. The last basketball game I got ran out, but that was in the youth level. Of course, I got run out in the youth. So I tried to coach youth basketball for a little while, but my love of it, this is what's crazy, Coach. And I don't know, maybe you can explain it to me why this is. I love the game so much that it's harder for me to coach. Like all these other sports that I coach, they come easy to me. I can do it. But I love basketball. I can't coach it. I'm like, I can never get it to come across. So, hats off to you, with your skills that you're able to, transfer your love of the game over to the court. I was never able to do that. I always struggled with basketball. That was the one. You understand?
I understand. I tell the girls all the time, they give me more anxiety watching them and having to coach them than I ever felt playing in any type of big game. And I've played in a lot of big games in my life, and we'll be winning by 40, and I have more anxiety and stress in that game than I ever did when I played. So I get it. It's just, I think it's because you can't control it. You can do what you can.
Maybe.
You can prepare them, you can teach them, you can coach them up, but at the end of the day, they're the ones that got to go out and do it. And so
that's it.
There's a piece where you just can't control it. So
you want to suit up and go out there and go shoot a three real quick.
Exactly.
Well, Gabe, that's all I got. Coach, again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Johnny, Tony, you got anything you want to add before we give Coach Hale the final word?
No, just just good luck again. I mean that's all I can say. And like Steve said, if you're a fan, if you're watching this podcast, definitely support the basketball teams, support the other sports the way we support football, because Rockport, and we talked about this on the Pirate Cove earlier in the season, is been doing really well in all sports. So just really go and catch a game, any of the Rockport games, whether it's boys or girls, and just really support the community and the school, because they're really working hard. So that's all I got to say about that.
All right, Coach Hale, before I give you the final word, your GT Sports will be streaming a lot of these games. I think Steve and I are going to even try to commentate. We're working on getting that taken care of. So we'll sit there for all the people that are going to see it and can hear us commentate the game. It's a little bit faster paced than football or baseball, but we both have knowledge. Hopefully Tony, Johnny and Tony be up there with us, but we're going to try to, comment the game, but we're definitely going to live stream a lot of them, Coach. But I don't want people to sit home just because we're live streaming. I mean, if you can make it to a home game, come on out. I know it's a lot. It means a lot to the players and you coaches to see that gym packed, especially at home and real loud. I know when I played, a coach that got hyped up. I liked a coach that was intense. I didn't like a coach that. I like a coach that got down. It brought me to another level. I wanted to win for my coach and my school, so I know what it did for me. I know it does this for the girls. So if you got a chance, come on out to check out our girls. They're right there for a district title. I mean, and they're going to make a deep playoff run. So hopefully we're injury free, and come on out and catch these girls next week. Real quick, we'll have Rockport-Fulton Pirates boys basketball coach Damian Bates. He'll be on the podcast next Wednesday at 7. So we'll do a little Q&A with Coach Bates. But Coach Hale, I'll give you the final word. Anything you want to add before we let you go and call it a night?
I don't think so. I was just going to say, I mean, with COVID last year, we played at opposite sites with the boys. This year, we're back to same sites. So people come into games, you get to see girls and varsity and boys. We'll start at 5 with sub varsities, but girls varsity will start at 6:15, 6:30, depending on how long that first sub varsity game goes. And then the varsity boys will follow us. So it's set for 6:15 and 7:30. After Christmas is whenever our schedules align with district. So I think
Awesome.
It might be January 4th is the first one, I think. So that would be a great opportunity for people to come out and be able to watch both boys and girls.
Man, that
Coach.
is awesome.
Coach, excuse me. Hey, what days do y'all play? What days of the week are y'all normally?
Tuesday and Fridays. We are allowed tournaments this year, which we weren't last year with COVID. So early on, I think it's 2 weekends, mid-November. We will be in tournaments. We go to the CCISD tournament, and then we actually are going to the Floresville tournament this year. Both of those are new tournaments that we haven't ever been to in the past. And then we're hosting our own Toast of the Coast tournament December 2nd through 4th. And then after that, we'll be back on just every Tuesday, Friday schedule. There is one over Christmas break. I think it's on maybe I think it's the 30th. It's a non-district game, but we're playing over Christmas break just to get our legs back under us before we have district once we get back from break.
Cool.
Sounds good. Morgan Hale, Rockport-Fulton Lady Pirates head basketball coach. We wish you all the luck this year. We'll be contacting you again sometime during the basketball season, a few more times actually. Hopefully you'll have time to come back and continue to talk more basketball. But until next time, Coach, have a great night. Thank you for your time, and we'll be talking to you here shortly.
Awesome.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you all so much. Appreciate it.
Mhm.
Thank you.
That was Morgan Hill, our Lady Pirates basketball coach. And I got to say, guys, it was a great interview. Of course, I love basketball. And these girls have a high expectation. Going into the third round last year, going on a 20-game win streak, and being district champs. They have a target on their back, but I think these girls are ready for it. And I can't wait to start seeing the game. It's going to be great. Next week, as I said, Rockport-Fulton Pirates boys head basketball coach Damian Bates is scheduled to be here on the podcast. So we'll do a Q&A with him, and we'll talk boys basketball and see how the season's going to fare for our boys. So I'm excited. We also got volleyball girls. I know that Friday they're going to be playing at home. They play the Calhoun beat Sinton yesterday. So they're going to be playing one game. I think it starts at 5:00 on Friday. It's for seating purposes. So come on out and pack the gym here at home. Our girls, we need that win to be seated number one. It's all for playoff purposes. So it'll be exciting. Of course, we'll be there for our, and we'll talk more here about our football team in just a minute. But guys, let's take a little 5-minute break. The Braves just scored. I saw Johnny's hand go up. I knew it wasn't a good sign for us. when he was doing that little thing like this. I knew it was bad, but I didn't want to say anything.
The home
But,
run that the Braves just hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw
Oh,
it, man.
I
saw
thought
it.
he was rushing me whenever I was
Like,
talking.
hurry up.
Nah, I'm
No,
playing.
when he did that, I looked down and I saw that home run going. I was like, oh my God, that's all right. But let's take a little 5-minute break, guys. Hey, Tony, Johnny, did y'all get the agenda? We are able to open it?
Or did you send it
Yeah.
on email? Because I was looking on
Yeah,
Messenger.
I sent it. Yeah, so it'll let you guys know, it's Tony, so you can follow through with it, how it's going to go, you know, Steve, and what you do, Johnny and Steve. So it's set up a little bit. I'm going to start sending it to you guys, so it'll help you guys prepare a little bit better. But let's take a little 5-minute break, guys, and I'm going to get something to drink, and then we'll be back.
Awesome.
All right, bro.